The South African Weather Service has issued several weather warnings for disruptive rain and damaging winds for parts of the Western and Eastern Capes, starting from this afternoon into the week. And let's start by bringing in SABC News' meteorologist. In fact, we will shortly and look at which areas are affected. I can tell you that the entire Garden route is an issue of concern with Western Cape management saying that they're on high alert and they're looking at areas such as Knysna, George, Mossel Bay, Oudtshoorn along the Garden route, and then of course Abacha in focus in the Eastern Cape. And we have seen those tidal waves recently. They were extremely damaging and ultimately fatal. So concerns about people out at sea, about people traveling along the Garden route, just getting from place to place given the severe warnings. Mpho earlier told us that it was unclear to gauge exactly how serious it would be. This is another cut-off low that we've seen in South Africa of late. Let's bring him in once more. And Mpho, take us through the areas affected. Tell us what is expected as well today.
Well, Francis, is very simple. The cut-off low is sitting over the interior of Northern Cape. It's extending a low towards the ground, meaning that it's mostly the southern parts of the Northern Cape stretching into the whole of the Western Cape and also the Eastern Cape, especially as we move towards the coastal areas. That's where they're going to be mostly hit, especially with a level 9 warning. It is upgraded now to a level 9 warning of disruptive rainfall, which would lead to flooding over the coastal areas over the Western Cape, also stretching into the Eastern Cape.
So, do we know how serious it'll be? Exactly where should people be very careful? Presumably along the coast. If they're seafarers, we hear warnings, wear your life jackets. I mean, how can people protect themselves?
Well, that simply comes down to disaster management, but mostly in terms of flooding, all you can do is actually make sure that you try by all means in the house, I don't know how, but to actually get up to higher areas, because we're expecting the flooding to be severe. We're talking widespread flooding or flash flooding where a large area it will actually be affected. In terms of the damaging winds, we're talking wind speed of up to 80, gusting 100 kilometers per hour. All you can do is just try by all means to be indoors and hope your house will stand the strong winds.
And this cut-off low, just explain, you've explained the phenomenon before. You said earlier that we can't gauge the exact intensity. Do we know how it'll move across the country, when it'll taper off, etc.?
Yes, we do know. We do know that it is developed today, and that's why it's definitely raining now, and the warnings are valid for today and also for tomorrow. We're expecting it actually to start dying off tomorrow in the evening. But as I said, weather is mostly sometimes unpredictable. You can get a little bit of, because we had a reaching high ahead of it, we can get a bit of moisture from the reaching high, bringing moisture inside, and it gives power to the low that has been extended to the ground. That may give it a bit more power. But for now, as the model shows that actually that from tomorrow, basically from Tuesday, it will start to die off, developing back into an upper trough and dying off as the week progresses.
And final question, the people who should be concerned are those residents of the Eastern Cape and the Western Cape. We don't expect other areas to be affected?
Well, like I said, it was upgraded to a level 9 over the Western Cape and it becomes a level 8 over the Eastern Cape for tomorrow. Also, the southern parts of the Northern Cape also can be affected. Also, the southern parts of the Free State, and also the level 6 warning of disruptive rainfall is now extended into parts of KwaZulu-Natal, the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal, so they should be careful. And also coming to Gauteng, Mpumalanga, and also the Free State and parts of the Northwest, we do have a level 2 warning of severe thunderstorm for tomorrow. So that's where we're going to come into the picture.